The show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast, where the magic is in learning.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast for April 14th, 2026. She's Kim.
He's Chris.
And hopefully you got your taxes done if you live in the U.S.
If you didn't, you're probably in trouble right now.
Exactly, but we're not going to focus on taxes.
No, we're most definitely not. Let's not think about those for a while.
The funny thing about taxes, and we can segue into one of the things that we're going to talk about, is in 1970, I believe it was, the Apollo 13, one of the astronauts in the Apollo 13 mission didn't have his taxes done, so he had to file an extension from space.
Oh, no. And if any of you have ever had to file extensions, like we have, it is not fun.
No, it's not.
We never want to do it ever again.
So anyway, enough
So doing
of
it from
taxes.
space would have been extra bad.
Right. So I think you're figured out that we're going to talk about space and the
We are.
mission that was just completed a few days ago, where the 4 astronauts went around the moon.
They went around the moon, they broke a lot of records, and they splashed back down near San Diego Friday night
Yes, they did.
on the 10th.
So did you keep up with the mission?
Of course,
Good. And how did you do that?
through the NASA app.
NASA app.
Now, the way this began was NASA has a YouTube channel, and because we're YouTube Premium members and would never give it up because we love it, I started watching through the NASA channel on YouTube, which is a great way to do it. But at one time, we had both had the NASA app, and for some reason, we didn't have it on our phones currently or on our devices. So we went and we re-downloaded the NASA app and discovered a nice surprise.
It was accessible. I think it was always accessible or more accessible than not, but maybe it was just one of those things that we just never reinstalled after doing phone upgrades or what have you.
I still think it might be a bit more accessible now than it was last time we saw it. I could
Probably.
be wrong, but maybe. So not only can you read a lot of articles and learn about what's going on with NASA, you can watch live broadcasts through the NASA app. And of course, the biggest thing going with NASA at that moment in time was Artemis II.
Yes. So the day that they went around the moon, we both had it going in separate locations and were able to follow the astronauts' journey. Now, we didn't get to see the pictures, but we were able to get the commentary, which was really a cool concept.
Now, that's one of the cool things about watching through the NASA app. They were live reporting from Johnson Space Center in Houston. So everyone who was reporting from there were, I assume, essentially NASA employees. They were telling you everything that was going on. So that part was really cool. You were getting a type of commentary that you wouldn't necessarily get elsewhere. It's one thing to hear your journalists talk about it, which is great and well and good, but to hear about it, essentially straight from NASA was really cool. And for those of us who like the geekery of it all, which he and I most definitely do, it was especially fun to follow that way. And of course, you might say, well, you're missing the main part of the mission, which is the pictures. But what I found really interesting about it all, particularly when they were reporting back, when the astronauts were reporting back to NASA, was they were describing a lot of stuff. And so while it doesn't substitute for having access to the pictures or some kind of AD, it still gives you an idea, especially when they were going around the moon and, the far side of the moon and all these things, what they were seeing. Especially Victor Glover, who was the pilot, was so poetic and descriptive about everything he was seeing. And he was almost playful about it at times in the way he was discussing things. You could get a really interesting mental picture of what he was seeing and what was going on. The way he would kind of translate that verbally was really cool.
They were doing that for data.
Yes. And they had a lot of actual recordings that they were doing at the time that they were looking out their windows with the naked eye in some cases, as opposed to with a long-range lens, and discussing it while they were there at the moon.
So they broke this Apollo 13 record
Yes.
that was set back in 1970. And that was the furthest distance. They broke that by several thousand miles.
Oh, yes.
I forget what the number is, but they surpassed it. And then hours later, they were the furthest humans from the moon, or from the Earth. So they had all those record-breaking things that they did in this mission.
And even when stuff wasn't going on, you could follow live through the NASA app. Even on their days where things weren't as busy as that day, you could follow and you could see what was going on and what was happening and how it worked. And one of the things I liked, you could go back and you could watch the broadcasts after the fact. What I was doing was I was watching through YouTube because you had the speed control, and I could speed it up and watch it a little faster through YouTube's speed control. So you might watch a lot of something live while it was happening on NASA, and then turn it off and go about your day and do something else, and you can come back and finish watching it at faster speeds through YouTube.
I was pretty impressed with the audio quality.
Oh my goodness. It does not sound like Missions Past.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like they're in the same room or off to a different room than they were 250,000 miles away.
It still sounds like a phone.
It does.
For those who weren't keeping up with it, but the quality is fantastic. Especially, I noticed a lot of improvement when they came back from the moon and they had a break in communication. And then when they came back, and especially when they were doing Splashdown, about to do Splashdown, a lot of the commentary there from space, it was almost crystal clear.
Well, they were closer to the Deep Space Network. At one time, they transitioned from the Deep Space Network, I forget what network, maybe Near Space Network?
Near Space.
Right.
So from Deep Space to Near Space.
Right. So they were transitioning. They had GPS. I thought it was fascinating that they were able to use GPS when they were doing their re-entry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That led he and I to a conversation of what would you do out in space as a blind person on a spaceship in a capsule?
Freak out?
Besides freak out. We were talking about those of us like myself who have pretty bad spatial concepts to begin with. And what would we do in 0G?
Yeah, it'd be an interesting experiment. But I don't think you'd know if you were upside down or not.
It's very possible.
An interesting thing that I've thought of for years and years. Are you upside down? Are you right side up? Are you sideways? Are you going to even know? So it would be interesting to be floating around and see what your senses tell you, since you don't have that sight to orient with.
So what would you do? How would you contribute to NASA science on a capsule, or at least even in 0G in a practice scenario?
Right. Because I think they can do that.
Oh, I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure there are ways to do it. You and I should go to either Houston or California and play in one of these space centers someday. We would love that.
I went to Kennedy Space Center years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I got to touch a moon rock. That was cool.
Did you do a whole tour?
Yep.
How'd that work?
It was fine. I went with a friend and we just kind of roamed around, and I was not too far from the replica of the LEM, the Apollo 11 LEM. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of fascinating too. And there was a rocket above us, and you couldn't go on the shuttle or anything at the time. I mean, this was 26 years ago, but it was interesting. Very interesting.
And now one of the space centers will have Integrity, or Orion, if we're going to be official about it, I guess.
Yes. I can't remember if the LEM was a replica or not. I think it is a replica because I think that when they came back, they jettisoned the LEM. They didn't bring it back with them, unless I'm mistaken. One
of the things that bonded us when we first met was astronomy. So being able to watch this after 54 years of no one being close to the moon was awesome for us.
You weren't even born yet.
Neither were you.
I know.
So last time someone was on the moon, neither of us was here.
Right.
It was really fun in that regard. And the NASA app also has Third Rock Radio, so you can listen to tunes.
Yes.
While you're waiting for broadcasts and stuff like that.
You know, it was funny. I did a search on TuneIn. Mm-hmm. For NASA, because I wanted to see if there was some kind of radio thing. Mm-hmm. And the first item was that Third Rock station came up.
That's cool.
So you can't just not listen to it in the NASA app. You can go on TuneIn and find it that way too.
They do have podcasts. I'm anxious to check them out. They do have one called, no surprise to anyone, Houston, We Have a Podcast. And I think they have others as well. But that is, I think, their main podcast that you can check out. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And if you're somebody who kind of wonders what's going on in the night sky and feels like maybe you miss a lot of that stuff, one thing I really highly recommend is a podcast called Stardate. And I've listened to that for probably 40 years. Real close. 35 anyway, probably, because I've always been really into this stuff. And
it's like a 2 or 3 minute podcast.
Every day. And they tell you what's going on in the sky that night.
Yep.
So that's really fun. Really enjoy that.
There's also 365 Days of Astronomy,
Yes.
which is an amalgamation of a lot of podcasts, the Astronomy Cast, and a bunch of other podcasts. That's a cool one to listen to, too.
Absolutely. You can definitely find things. The problem is with a lot of the things that you'll find, it's just going to show you visuals. So you do kind of have to pick and choose carefully what you find, which is why I recommend podcasts specifically.
Audio podcasts.
Audio podcasts. You can find some interesting things. I know a lot of this, in terms of the Artemis II moon travel, has focused on the images that they sent back. But it's like they were talking at some point on the day they did the flyby. Don't discount either the audio or those annotations that they make, because they have to annotate everything as they're looking at it. And those are going to give back tons of data as well. So you can definitely check out a lot of information. The app is quite intuitive now as well. There's nothing that says you can't look back on some of this stuff and still enjoy some of it after the fact. It's not quite the same experience, but you will still have a great time looking back on things and learning. Could also be an interesting use of your IRA time if you find an agent who you really like and want to let them have a go at describing some of these photos to you as well. And of course, we have things like Seeing AI and some of these other things that might be able to take pictures of your monitor, and you could look at photos that way, perhaps.
I've seen a couple of people on Mastodon post the images, and they've had pretty good descriptive alt text as well.
Yeah. So check out your social media, or if you have sighted friends who are also astronomy lovers, they would be really good to talk to right now, and they could probably give you some interesting descriptions as well. I know for myself, I feel like I learned some good vocabulary over the course of this mission, learning about a few things, and that was cool. You can learn a lot. It's a different experience, of course, for us, because there are things that we are missing out on, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. It doesn't mean you can't find ways to fill those gaps and learn about that knowledge. It's not the same thing, but it's still a lot of fun. This is, for me at least, what our Eclipse was supposed to be a couple years ago. We were all Eclipse crazy up here, and I know we even talked about it on the podcast, and we did not get our Eclipse. It was too cloudy, and we didn't even get to enjoy the Eclipse up here. So this was a great joy to get to experience a very different event, but an event with a ton of context and a lot of stuff going on. I was actually surprised how much we were able to enjoy it with the resources that we had. Did you have as much fun as I did?
Yeah, it was cool.
There's so much for archival purposes that you'll be able to look back on and enjoy. So check out the NASA app. They may have some of it archived. If they don't, find the NASA YouTube channel. I'll link to it in the show notes if you want to go there. You can check out a lot of those archived broadcasts. And they have excerpts of things, too, that they've posted just in video form.
Right.
You can meet the astronauts. It's all very cool.
A lot of acronyms, though.
Oh, a lot of acronyms. You'll learn a lot of acronyms, but it'll be fun for you. You'll enjoy it. I could probably take a multiple choice test right now and do very well on it.
A couple months from now? Yeah, maybe not. But
maybe not a couple months from now, but maybe. See how much sticks in my head.
But you like to read, right?
Of course I like to read.
Well, that's good, because you're going to talk about what?
I'm going to talk about a new way, at least a new way to me, to read books that isn't Audible or Bard or Bookshare. Now, you may remember a while back, this is probably a year or two ago, I talked about the Chirp app. Some of you have used that. And this is not really like that. It's a little different. This is a service that's a little more Audible-like, but it's not Audible. And it's called Everand, Everand. This is an app where you pay a set monthly price and you get a set number of books for that monthly price. Sound familiar to those of you who get Audible credits? Apparently, as of early 2024, this was a different type of thing altogether. You paid $9.99 a month or something close to that, and you got unlimited reads. Well, of course, they changed that in late 2024, and it became a credit-based service. So there are 3 tiers. There's, I forget what they're called, standard, premium, and something. And you can get 1 book, 3 books, or I think 5 books. They're called unlocks. Instead of calling them credits, they call them unlocks. You also have a catalog of originals, Everand originals, and then you have free stuff as well. And both the Everand originals and the free stuff, and it has a name, I think it's called Unlimited, now that I think about it, are free. And there are a lot of books there. But a lot of them are classics. They're the type of thing that you could probably find pretty easily anywhere and get access to. But it is a way you can get access to some of these classic books. So we're talking, Jane Austen and the Brontes and Shakespeare and, some of these really classic writings. So what's interesting about this is you can find a lot of bestsellers, but you can also find more, let's say, obscure titles. What I like about it is, to me, it feels a lot friendlier and it feels a lot more tailored to you based on what you find. You know how Audible has, well, if you like this book, you might like, and a lot of times you'll see the same books every time you look at a book. It isn't like that with Everand. What's interesting is not only do you get audiobooks, you can also get ebooks, which you can read. They are accessible. And you also can listen to podcasts. Now, I haven't really checked out the podcasts, but they are available through the app. I'm currently on a 30-day trial. The only way you get a 30-day trial is if you sign up through the app itself, as opposed to through, say, iOS. If you do that, if you go through iOS, I think you only get like a 7-day or a 5-day trial, something like that. I chose to sign up through the Everand app, and it's everand.com.
So you really mean website, not app.
Yes, I do. Don't sign up through the app if you want the 30-day trial. Sign up through the website, the .com. That will give you access. I'm actually pretty impressed with accessibility. There are a few issues that I can speak to, but for the most part, accessibility is good, aside from the pickers. The pickers are very cool, but they're not always accessible. So that's something to note. If you're someone who doesn't mind reading with one of your iOS installed voices, or you want to read with a Braille display, you most certainly can read the ebooks. In fact, I have saved a few ebooks for my save reads that I can't access right now, because with a trial, you only get one unlock. So I'm only able to read one of the premium books for my monthly trial. After that, I've signed up for I think it's $16.99 for 3 books. And that's one of the things I really like about it. Whereas Audible, 1 book would cost me about that. I can get 3 for that for $16.99 or something real close to that through the Everand service. So even if I chose to do 1 audiobook and 2 ebooks, or 2 audiobooks and 1 ebook, something like that, or all 3 audiobooks, you've got options depending on what they offer and what you want. Now, in terms of selection, they have a lot of stuff. You're going to find a lot of crossover between what they have and what Audible has, but you're also going to find, because of the ebooks, a lot of differences as well. It's been kind of fun for me to look and see what's different and what's similar, just in terms of kind of things I've been looking for. The other piece of it that I find interesting is you can make custom lists. If those of you who are on Bookshare have ever used their list features, it's a lot like that. You can literally make a list, call it whatever you want, and put books on it. I think that's very, very cool. So not only can you just generically save stuff to read for later, you can make lists of stuff. Post-production Kim here. I had completely forgotten that you can do this with Audible as well. This kind of puts that feature more front and center, so you can find it a little more easily. But yes, you can do this with Audible as well. The other reason I like this is, a lot of times with an Audible book, if it's less than 8 or 9 hours, I don't want to spend a credit on it. It's just how I work. So getting shorter books for a smaller price is more appealing to me. And as long as you are a member, you have access to the books. You can download them into the app so you can read them offline. I don't think you can take them out of the app, but such is life these days. That's almost impossible to do these days with anything. So I don't know if there are ways to do that with this, legal or otherwise. So that's just something for your consideration. Chirp is the same way. You can actually get books out of the app. So I just want to give you a basic tour of the app and show you a little bit about what it's like. And while I'm showing you on iOS, you can certainly get it for Android as well. Open Everand. So before we do anything else, I'm going to go to the bottom.
Tab bar selected. Home. Tab 1 of 5.
There are 5 tabs along the bottom. We have Home.
Discover. Tab 2 of 5.
Discover.
Ask. Tab 3 of 5.
Ask.
Saved. Tab 4 of 5.
Saved. These are for all the books you saved that you want to read for later.
Account. Tab 5 of 5.
And Account. Let's go into Account first. And go to the top.
Account. Heading.
There's a nice account heading.
Hi there. 0 unlocks available. Unused unlocks renew on April 26th. Button.
So I have
Double
0
tap to open transaction history.
unlocks available, and it tells me my date that my next unlock will be available, and I can double tap there for transaction history. As long as you are a subscriber, a paid subscriber, you can keep all the premium books you have downloaded as long as you're a subscriber, and if you resubscribe later with the same email, you'll still have access to those books. Also, your unlocks roll over for up to 6 months.
Learn more. Button. Link.
There's a Learn More link.
Account information. Button.
There's my account information.
FAQs and support. Button.
FAQs and support.
Report an issue button.
Report an issue.
Downloads button.
Downloads.
Audio player settings button.
Audio player settings.
Language options button.
Language options.
Notification settings button.
Notification settings.
Siri shortcuts button.
Siri shortcuts. That's kind of handy.
Made in San Francisco, version 16.6.
And it tells us made in San Francisco.
Tab bar, home, tab 1 of 5.
And we're back to the tabs. Let's look at a couple of these things.
Made in language options, audio player settings button.
Like audio player settings.
Having problems, heading.
So let's go to the top.
Arrow back button.
And it says arrow back.
Audio player settings, heading. Having problems, heading. Report any problems you encounter while using the audio player. Report an issue button.
There's report an issue.
Progress bar, heading.
Now, we have all these nice headings that divide up these settings.
Change the listening duration displayed on the progress bar on audiobooks.
So we can change the way the listening duration is displayed.
Chapter. Selected. Full audiobook.
We have chapter and full audiobook.
Time display, heading.
Then we have time display.
Select how your listening time is displayed below the progress bar. Selected. Time remaining. Percentage complete.
So how much time is left in the chapter or how much time is left in the full book. I've chosen, for now, full book.
Skip button interval, heading.
Then we have skip button interval.
Choose how far to skip forward and back while listening. Skip button interval, 5 seconds, button.
Let's go into this.
Skip interval, heading. Selected, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, default.
So you can really drill down. 30 seconds is default.
Set, button, cancel, button, cancel.
And then we have a set and cancel. So up to 30 seconds.
Sheet grabber, half screen, button. Sheet grabber, expanded. Sheet grabber, skip interval, heading, second.
Thought that was going to let me go back.
Arrow back, button.
There, I scrubbed instead.
Skip button interval, 5 seconds, button.
Let's go back to the right.
Automatic settings, heading. Autoplay podcasts, automatically play the next episode of a podcast. Switch button, on, off.
I always turn that off. I'm not an autoplay girly. I'm just not.
Stream audio on Wi-Fi only. Only stream audio content when connected to a Wi-Fi source. Switch button, off.
That's turned off, so currently I can stream on data.
Download on Wi-Fi only. Only download audio content when connected to a Wi-Fi source. Switch button, on. Tab bar, home, tab.
So those are the player settings.
Arrow back, button. Arrow back, audio player settings, button.
And it leaves you where you are on the screen. I am driven crazy by apps that take you to the top of the screen when you leave a section. I'm very happy this one doesn't do that. Let's go to the right.
Language options, button. We'll translate the app and tailor your personal recommendations where possible to match your preferred language selection. We'll translate the app and tailor your personal recommendations.
So that's pretty cool.
Language options, heading.
And before that, you have a nice
Back, button.
heading and a back button.
Language, we'll translate the app and selected, English, French, German, Indonesian, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Spanish. Tab bar, home.
So you have several language options.
Back, button. Account, language options, button. Notification settings, button.
We have notification settings. I'll let you explore that on your own.
Siri shortcuts, button.
But let's look at these Siri shortcuts.
Enable Siri shortcuts, switch button, on. Double tap, add to Siri, button. Add a Siri voice command to open what you are currently reading. Tab bar, home.
So that's pretty cool. You can set that up yourself if you wish to.
Back, button. Account, Siri shortcuts, button. Made in San Francisco.
So that's what I wanted to show you in this tab. And let's look at the tabs again.
Tab bar, home, tab 1 of 5.
And this time we're going to go to the first tab, the home tab.
Selected, home, tab 1 of 5.
And to the top.
Notifications, 0 new, button.
So there's your notifications.
Selected, everything, button.
Now, here you can filter. You can filter everything.
Audiobooks, button. Ebooks, button. Podcasts, button. Unlimited, button.
You also have unlimited. Those are what I was talking about. They're free.
Everand originals, button.
Everand originals. So those are your options.
Currently reading. More currently reading, button.
Now, this is kind of interesting. For all these categories, you have
currently reading,
the name,
more currently reading, button,
a button, and a carousel.
Carousel, currently reading. Rogue Shifter Box Set Books 1-3 by Gail Parnas, 30 HRS left, adjustable.
30 hours left of this. And if I were to go through the carousel,
Rogue Shifter Box Set Book, Rogue Shifter Box.
That's what I am currently reading. I don't have any other things that I am in process of reading.
Start your save reads now.
Now, this next one, as I flick right, says start your saved reads now. Remember we talked about saved reads. Anything you want to read later, you can put in saved reads.
More start your save reads now, button.
There's the button.
Carousel, start your save reads now. Chasing a Highland Dream.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. One of the things that you might want to do to open one of these, though, is to double tap and hold it as opposed to just double tapping it. You might have a better chance of opening it up if you're tapping it through the carousel. So when you flick up and down, find what you want. Try double tapping and holding it versus just double tapping it. Because what I found is the top one in the carousel always seems to open if you just double tap it. So be careful there. And remember, you've always got the other option.
More start your save reads now button.
That one. And that way you can just scroll through, find it, and double tap it to go into something.
Carousel. Start your save reads now. Chasing a Highland Dream. Similar to the Spring of Second Chances.
Then we have similar to books in my saved list. And you'll find several of these depending on what you have saved. Then I have
Romance for You.
Romance for You.
Carousel. Not sure what to read. The best new books on Everand. Adjustable.
Now, for this one,
Carousel. Not sure what to read.
not sure what to read. This is a carousel strictly.
Current New York Times bestsellers. Books hitting the big screen in 2026.
And that's what's in the carousel. I'm going up and down.
14 books to read if you like Emily Henry. 10 Regency romance novels, from class-matching Harry Potter books to Hogwarts houses. Top 50 premium titles on Everand. Top 50 unlimited titles on Everand.
See how cool this is?
Top 50 premium titles on Everand.
I don't know why this one's showing up
Top 50 unlimited. Top 50
4 times. That one's showing multiple times. You could go into one of these, and again, if a double tap takes you somewhere weird, back out of that and double tap and hold.
Unlimited reads.
Then we have unlimited reads.
Or unlimited reads button.
And again, this one has a more and
Carousel. Unlimited reads. How
the
should
carousel.
books recommended for you?
So you're going to find all kinds of interesting things on this home tab. Before we go anywhere else, let's look at one of these.
More unlimited reads. Carousel. Not sure what to read. 14 books to read if you like Emily Henry.
We'll just pick one.
14 books to read if you like Emily Henry.
And I did double tap without double tapping and holding, and it did take me into this category.
Heartwarming and relatable romances to add to your TBR from authors like Emily Henry. Select literary fiction button.
There are genres.
Select contemporary romance button. Select romantic comedy button. Select contemporary women's button. Select family life button. Curated by Even and editors. Save meant to be a novel for later button.
Now, it's going to show me a novel. It says save for later.
Audiobook. Meant to be a novel. Emily Giffin. 3.5 out of 5 stars based on 50 ratings. Young Joel Kingsley III comes from a prominent American political family but struggles with the weight of high society's expectations. Kate Cooper lives an unremarkable teenage life until she's scouted for modeling jobs, forcing her into public view. A chance encounter between Joe and Kate sends sparks flying, but can their relationship withstand the spotlight? This novel is loosely based on John F. Kennedy, Jr. and Carolyn Bessett's real-life marriage. It combines all the glamour and drama of New York in the 90s with a truly heartwarming relationship, but we're happy to report that this one has a happy ending. Save the Unhoneymooners for later button.
And then we have the Unhoneymooners.
Audiobook. The Unhoneymooners.
So if you want to find out about one of these books,
The Unhoneymooners.
you can double tap.
The Unhoneymooners.
This will take you into the book.
Back button.
If you go to the top of the screen, there's a back button.
Share button.
You can share it.
The Unhoneymooners.
There's the title, The Unhoneymooners.
Written by Christina Lauren, link, and Deacon Lee, link.
So there are your
Use the roller to
authors.
access links,
And if I go to links,
headings, links. Christina Lauren, link. Deacon Lee, link.
I can click on either of these authors.
Narrated by Cynthia Farrell, link. Double tap to activate embedded link.
There's the narrator.
Play sample, button.
I can play a sample.
0 unlocks available, button.
And it tells me 0 unlocks available.
Your next unlock will be available on April 26th. Download 389.8 MB, button.
You can download it, tells you how big it is.
Save, button.
You can save it.
Add to list, button.
You can add it to a list. Remember we talked about lists? You can set up any list that you want.
Ratings, 4 out of 5 stars based on 7,764 ratings.
There's your rating.
Length, 9 HRS 7 minutes.
Length.
Format, audiobook.
Audiobook.
Also available as ebook, button.
I kind of love that. If you're looking at the ebook and it's available as an audiobook, it will tell you. So you can click on there to go to the ebook in this case.
Language, English.
It's in English.
Publisher, Simon & Schuster Audio.
Simon & Schuster.
Released May 14th, 2019.
Release date.
Select romantic comedy, button.
Here are its genres.
Select contemporary women's, button. Description. The instant New York Times bestseller. Named a must-read by Today, Us Weekly, Bustle, BuzzFeed, Goodreads. Read more, button.
There's a read more button.
Your rating and review. Rating, none. Adjustable.
You could rate it.
Write a review, button.
Write a review.
Reviews, 342.
You could read reviews.
More, button.
So you could go in and read more of the reviews if you wanted to.
Mel Cabigan. 2 out of 5 stars.
Well, she didn't like it.
Really liked the first half of the book. Couldn't say the same on the second half. The ending was meh. It was a light read without really diving deeper into the issues. The bickering was funny, but that's just it. More audiobooks from Christina Lauren.
Then there are more audiobooks.
More audiobooks from Christina Lauren. Button. Carousel. More audiobooks from Christina Lauren. The Honeymoon Crashers. An audio original by Christina Lauren. Adjustable.
So you can go in, you can read these.
Related audiobooks.
You have related audiobooks.
More related audiobooks. Button. Carousel. Related audiobooks. The Lost Apothecary. A novel by Sarah Penner. Adjustable.
And you can either go to the more button and flick through, or you can flick up and down on the pickers.
Romantic comedy for you. More romantic comedy for you. Button. Carousel. Romantic comedy for you. The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Adjustable. Related podcast episodes.
Related podcast episodes.
More related podcast episodes. Button. Carousel. Related podcast episodes. Emily Henry, You're Booked. Emily Henry, You're Booked. By podcast. Adjustable.
And remember, this entire collection was about 14 books if you like Emily Henry novels. So that might be interesting.
Tab bar. Selected. Home. Tab 1 of 5.
And then we're at the tabs again along the bottom of the page.
Back. Button. Back. Button.
And of course, when I open this...
Olive Torres is chronically unlucky. From her career to her love life.
Where am I?
4 out of 5 stars based. Christina Lauren. Young Joel Kingsley 3 comes from a prominent...
Oh, okay. Figured it out. I'm back in my list. So I'm not sure what this next book is. It must be the description.
Olive Torres is chronically unlucky. Save 28 summers for later. Button.
Because then we have 28 Summers. It's going to tell us about it.
Audiobook. 28 Summers. Ellen Hilderbrand.
Oh, and that's an Ellen Hilderbrand. Automatically a good book.
4 out of 5 stars based on 300 ratings.
As far as I'm concerned.
On her deathbed, Mallory gives her son Link a note, telling him to call a mysterious number.
So you can learn more about anything in this collection. You can save them without even going in and looking at them if you want.
Save Me Before You, and Novel for Later. Button.
It's very, very friendly. I'm going to back out of here.
Back. Button. Back. Carousel. Not sure what to read. For tab bar. Discover. Tab 2 of 5.
The Discover tab I'll let you explore on your own.
That's also where you can search for a particular book that you want to find.
Ask. Saved. Tab 4 of 5.
The Saved tab has all your saved stuff in it. But the one I want to show you is the Ask tab.
Ask. Tab 3 of 5. Just a moment. Children books about science that are appropriate for a 6-year-old. Button.
This is really cool. Audible has something similar to this. You can ask, I think they call it Maven, but I think this one is cool. Let me just show you.
Ask Beta. Image. Main. Landmark.
So Ask Beta.
Ask Beta. Open Ask AI settings menu. Pop-up button. Menu pop.
You can open the Ask AI settings menu.
Looking for your next read. I can help.
Looking for your next read, I can help.
Ask me to recommend books or audiobooks similar to reads you love, favorite categories, or with a specific plot or setting. Children books about science that are appropriate for a 6-year-old. Button.
So here are some suggestions.
I don't like predictable endings. Can you find a couple of books with good plot twists for me? Button. Books about financial independence like Pathfinders by J.L. Collins. Button. Discover your next read. Multi-line text field.
You have a multi-line text field.
Send message. Button.
You can send a message.
Ask V1.0 may make mistakes. And main.
And of course, I have to show you that. It may make mistakes.
Tab bar. Home. Tab
And then you're
1
back
of
at your
5.
tabs. So I'm going to try this.
Accent. Discover your next
Since we
read.
were talking
Multi-line
about astronomy or the flight missions earlier, let's see if there's any books.
Insertion point. Multi-line text field. Is editing.
Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut.
Inserted. Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut. Dictate. Cap a toolbar. Done. Button. Multi-line text field. Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut. Send message. Button.
I flicked to send message. See what we get. Looks like I have to explore the screen, or maybe it just takes a minute.
Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut. Ask a follow-up. Multi-line text field.
So I can ask a follow-up.
Send message. Button. Ask V1.0 may make tab bar. Home.
Let's go
Tab
back to the
1 of
top.
5. Ask Beta. Image. Open Ask AI settings menu. Pop. Looking for your next read. I can help. Ask me to recommend books or audiobooks similar to reads you love, favorite categories, or with a specific plot or setting.
Okay, so there's the message we saw before.
Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut. Something went wrong. Please try again later.
Oh no, seriously?
Ask a follow-up. Multi-line text field.
Why isn't it working? I wanted to show you guys.
Send message. Button.
I've never actually done this before. See, I should have tested it before.
Ask a follow-up. Multi-line text field. Double tap to edit.
What if there's a way to refresh?
Nope.
Let's come back and see if I can submit it again.
Find me a pulse-pounding novel about a female astronaut. Tab bar. Home. Tab selected. Home. Ask tab 3
do
of
it
5.
this way.
Selected. Ask tab 3 of 5.
We'll change tabs.
Ask Beta. Open Ask AI setting. Looking for your next. Something went wrong. Ask a follow-up. Multi-line text field. App switcher. Everand. App tune in radio. App switcher.
There.
Tune in radio.
Let's reopen it. Open Everand.
Everand. Tab bar. Ask tab 3 of 5. Selected.
Let's try this again, shall we?
Ask is loading a world of stories and knowledge.
Oh, Ask is loading a
I
world
don't like
of,
predictable endings.
of stories and knowledge.
I
Okay.
want a deeply emotional memoir that explores overcoming adversity. Any ideas? Button. Children books about science that are appropriate for a 6-year-old. Discover your next read. Multi-line text field. Insertion point. Multi-line text.
I want a character-driven novel about a female astronaut.
Inserted. I want a character-driven novel about a female astronaut. Toolbar. Done. Button. Multi-line text field. I want. Send message. Button. Send message.
Give it a minute here to work.
Follows Jasmine Bashara.
Ah,
Resourceful female
worked this
ask
time.
Beta.
All right,
Image.
let's see what we
Name.
get.
Open Ask AI. Look at your. I can ask. I want a. Looking for Artemis. Head. I want a character-driven novel about a female astronaut.
All right, there's my query.
Looking for a character-driven novel featuring a female astronaut. I've got some stellar picks that dive deep into their journeys and inner worlds. Artemis. Heading level 4. Link.
How appropriate.
Buy. Andy Weir, heading level 4.
Ah, yes. Does this surprise us?
Follows Jasmine Bishara, a resourceful female astronaut living in the first lunar colony. This character-driven story blends science, suspense, and humor as Jess navigates a high-stakes heist that entangles her in a dangerous conspiracy, showcasing her grit and ingenuity in a thrilling lunar adventure. Rating 3, 5, 7, 5, 4, 3, 9 out of 5 stars. Link.
Okay, that's weird.
3.5/5. Link. Save Artemis, a novel for later. Button. Preview. Link. Revenger, heading level 4. Link.
Here's another one.
By Alistair Reynolds, heading level 4, is a thrilling space adventure featuring strong female characters like Adriana and Fearness, who navigate the dangers of space as part of a pirate crew. This character-driven novel blends heroism, mystery, and the quest for treasure in a richly imagined galaxy. Container headings. The Long Way to a Small, Angry Planet, heading level 4, link. By Becky Chambers, heading level 4, link.
See what this one is
a character-driven space opera featuring Rosemary Harper, a female astronaut seeking a fresh start aboard the aging spaceship Wayfarer. The novel explores her growth in relationships with a diverse crew as they embark on a dangerous mission through deep space, blending adventure with heartfelt themes of trust, love, and found family.
So you can go through by heading.
Velocity Weapon, heading level 4, link. Megan E. O'Keefe, heading level 4, link.
So the title and the author are both headings.
Megan E. O'Keefe, heading
That's
level 4.
the author, Megan E. O'Keefe.
Lightless, heading level 4. C. A. Higgins, heading level 4, link. Heading not found.
So it only gave me a few.
Is a gripping, character-driven sci-fi novel centered on Althea, a female astronaut in computer.
So all these are sci-fi for the most part. We didn't really give us quite what I was hoping for, but, you know, it's beta. What do you want?
Also in audiobook, link.
Oh, and that would happen to be an ebook, and it's also available in an audiobook.
Rating 3.203/5, link. Save lightless for later, button. Preview, link. I hope these stories about female astronauts captivate and inspire you. Upvote, button. Downvote, button.
Oh, and you can rate your response. That's cool. Let me change my ask just a little.
Ask a follow-up. Multi-line text field. Insertion point at end.
What about books about women who are hoping to become NASA scientists?
Inserted. What about books about women who are hoping to become NASA scientists? Cap K, Cap I, toolbar. Done.
Which was
button.
actually kind of more
Done.
what I was shooting for.
Multi-line text field. Send message. But send message. Looking for a character-driven novel featuring a female Artemis. Heading level 4.
Okay, now hang on. I probably have to go down past all these, don't I?
Containers, headings. Andy Weir. I hope these stories about... What about books about women who are hoping to become NASA scientists?
Yep, see, there's my follow-up. It's under all the stuff we already did.
Looking for inspiring stories about women aspiring to become NASA scientists? I found some fascinating books that highlight the journeys and achievements of women in space science and exploration.
Much better.
Hidden Figures. Heading level 4.
And of course, you get things like Hidden Figures.
Margot Lee Shutterly. Heading level 4. Link. Rocket Girl. Heading level 4. Link. Georgie Morgan. Heading level 4.
What's Rocket
link.
Girl about?
Tells the inspiring true story of Mary Sherman Morgan, a pioneering woman who aspired to be a chemist and became a key figure in America's rocket program during the space race. This book highlights her crucial yet often overlooked contributions to NASA's early successes, making it a compelling read about women breaking barriers in science and space exploration. Also in ebook, link. Reading 3-8-7-4.
I would read that in a second.
The Astronaut Wives Club, heading level 4.
The Astronaut
link.
Wives Club.
Lily Koppel, heading level 4. The Glass Universe, heading level 4.
Glass Universe.
Davis Ogle, heading level 4. Link. Women in Space, heading level 4. Karen Bush Gibson, heading level 4. Link. Heading not found.
Let's read about this one.
Offers inspiring profiles of pioneering women who broke barriers in space exploration, including astronauts and scientists who paved the way for future generations. It highlights the journeys of women aspiring to and achieving roles in NASA and beyond, making it a compelling read for those interested in female scientists and astronauts. Rating 4.5 out of 5 stars. Link.
It's quite well rated.
4.5/5. Link. Save Women in Space. 23 stories of first flights, scientific missions, and gravity-breaking adventures for later. Button.
Nice.
Preview. Link.
And you can preview it.
I hope these stories fuel your passion and inspire you on your own path to the stars.
Very nice.
Upvote. Button.
And you can upvote or
Downvote. Button.
downvote. Now, if you're not sure if it's an audiobook or an ebook, just go into it and you'll be able to find out because it will tell you. So if I went into
Karen Bush, Women in Space, heading level 4. Women in Space, heading level 4. Link. Ebook bullet 302 pages bullet English.
I guess that told us, didn't it? It's an ebook.
Ebook bullet 300 Women in Space, 23 stories of first flights, scientific missions, and gravity-breaking adventures.
Is it also available as an audio? Let's flick right.
By Karen, 4.5 out of 5 stars. 8. Dimmed. Text, select biography and autobiography. But when Valentina Tereshkova blasted off aboard Vostok 6 on June 16.
Ah, yes.
View all details. Button. Continue. Button. Save. Button. Close. Button. Close. Button.
If you're not seeing everything you want, go into
Say continue. But view all details. Button. View all
View
details.
all details.
Back. Button. Women in Space. By Read preview. But 0 unlocks available.
I can read a preview.
Your next unlock will be download 21. Save. Button. Add to list. Button. Ratings. 4 and length. 302 pages. Vertical line 3 HRS. Format. Ebook. Language. English.
Nope.
Publisher. Chicago Review Press. Released February 1st, 2014. Select biography and autobiography.
This one is not available as an audiobook because it'll tell you right there. Oh, one other thing I want to mention. For those of you who, like me, love speed control, this has a really great speed control that you can really drill down. If you want to change your speed with audiobooks from Everand, you most certainly can, and they will sound really good no matter what speed you throw at it. It is in the audio player. I'm kind of loving this app. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. It's the first I've seen it.
It's really cool. Really enjoying it. I think it's probably, for me at least, because I do like some more obscure stuff, going to be well worth my money. And I'm really looking forward to playing with it for a few months and seeing what I think. I tell you, one of the things I really like about apps in general, paid apps, for the most part, you can cancel them whenever you want and go back. So if you ever need to take a break, or you downloaded, like I do sometimes, a 60-hour Audible book, it's going to take you all month to read it. Hey, you can cancel your other subscriptions for that month and just use your Audible, or vice versa, you know? So you have options. I like knowing that this is another reading tool or audiobook tool in my pocket that I can use to maybe find things that are a little different or a little cheaper to read that aren't on Bard. I like having lots of options because I'm a big reader, and I just think this will be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to playing with it in addition to my Audible subscription for a little while and seeing what I think.
You know what I noticed this app doesn't have? Something that you like a lot.
What?
A wish list.
But you have save. That's what save is for.
Oh, so it's not called wish list.
Exactly. It's the same thing. That's what that saved tab is.
So are you going to make your save tab creak like your wish list?
You know it. He always laughs at me and says, I said, I just put another book on my wish list, and he goes, creak. I have thousands of books on my Bard wish list, and my Audible one's getting up there. It's close to 1,000 now. I will never read all the books I want to read in my lifetime. It will not happen.
Between the two of us, with Audible at least, we have about 1,200 books, I think it is now.
And that doesn't count all the stuff from the Plus catalog that we both love.
Crazy.
I don't know about you guys, but I think for me at least, when you look at how little access we had overall, I'm not saying Bard hasn't done amazing things or NLS hasn't done amazing things over the years to give us access. But when you think about the number of titles that we were easily able to consume 30 years ago versus now, the difference is astounding.
I remember, if you're talking about 30 years ago, unless you had Bard, you very rarely got unabridged books.
Exactly. I would get abridged books for Christmas and think it was the best thing ever. Even though they were abridged, it was something.
Yep.
Do you remember the books? I remember this group of books that you could get. I forget which bookstore, if it was Borders or what it was. And it literally came with a little adapter. And you could plug it into your cassette player, into your 3.5 millimeter jack. And each cassette had like 2 tracks on the same side of the cassette. And you would, depending on where you plugged your headphones into the adapter, would depend on which track you listened to.
Nope.
Post-production came back. I looked this up because I was curious what this was. It was called Book Cassette Registered, and apparently it was created in the 80s.
I had a version of Wuthering Heights like that. I think I had another one. You had like track 1 and 3 on one side or something, and 2 and 4 on the other side. It was crazy.
Nope, never heard of that.
I could probably never read it again.
And it was a cassette?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cassette.
Did it work in an NLS player?
No, I don't think so.
So how exactly did it work? You plugged in a set of headphones?
You plugged in a set of headphones to this little plastic adapter that you got with it, or maybe you had to buy the adapter separate. I don't remember now. And with that, it allowed you to read the track. So it isolated those parts of the book that you needed to hear for track 1 and track 3, or track 1 and 2, whatever it was.
Since we're talking about cassettes, do you remember the Digi Set?
Which one was that? That was one of those little handy cassette players, right?
No.
No?
It was a product. It was an MP3 player that was shaped like a cassette. It had reels of cassette.
Really?
Yes. You could plug in, I believe, a set of headphones into it and use it that way. Or you can plop it into your cassette player and it would literally play the MP3s.
Wow. Only you would have come up with something like that. Although I bet some of
I found it.
I bet some of you know what he's talking about. That sounds really cool.
It was kind of cool. I had one. I don't know where it went. But you had to have transfer software at the time. Mm-hmm. So it probably wouldn't work now anyway.
Yeah.
And you used micro SD cards of some stripe. And you put them in this Digiset to get your external storage. It was wild.
Wow.
It was called Digi Set. Do a Google search. You'll probably find out about it. Very cool. So now it is time for us to say goodbye for another 2 weeks.
Yes, we will see you guys coming up. I was going to say, it will still be April.
It will be.
It will be. So we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
The preceding podcast is a presentation of Mystic Access, where the magic is in learning. If you are blind or visually impaired and wish to experience less stress and more fun on your unique assistive technology journey, our comprehensive audio documentation and additional offerings are here to support you. We welcome your visit at mysticaccess.com. That's mysticaccess.com. Have a question or wish to place an order via phone? Call us at 716-543-3323. If you have comments to share about this episode, follow our phone menu prompts to reach our Mystic Access podcast comment line. Email us at info@mysticaccess.com and connect with us on social media, Mastodon, mysticaccess.online, and facebook.com/mysticaccessempower. Would you like to spread the word about our podcasts? Anyone may explore our extensive archives and subscribe to receive our bi-weekly episodes at mysticaccesspodcast.com. If you enjoy our content, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Thanks for spreading the word and for being a listener. We hope you enjoyed this episode.